Hello friends, topic of today is the role of Pravasi Bharatiya in the development of Indian economy. My lesson plan includes why is it in the news, who are Pravasi Bharatiya, diaspora of non-resident Indians and person of Indian origin, contribution to the Indian economy, way forward and finally conclusion. Friends, why is it in the news? As you know that the 17th edition of the Pravasi Bharatiya Divas convention is being organized at Indore on 9th and 10th January 2023. The theme is Diaspora, Reliable Partners for India's Progress in Amrit Kal. Special guests are the President of Republic of Suriname, Chandrika Prakash Santosi, and President of Republic of Guyana, Mohammad Irfan Ali. More than 3,500 members from 70 countries were present on the occasion. The PM inaugurated the Sammelan and said that Pravasi Bharatiya community has a significant role to play in elevating India's role on global level. Prime Minister said that all Pravasi Bharatiyas are brand ambassadors for Make in India, yoga, cottage industries, handicrafts as well as Indian millets. He said that the whole world is keenly looking up to India for the unprecedented development it achieved during the last few years. India is among the highest growing world economies, the third largest startup ecosystem, a leader in electronics and defense manufacturing in the world. He said that India's new pace of development and global recognition makes every Indian proud. In the coming years, India will be an even stronger force to reckon with. Now find I switch over to who are Pravasi Bharatiya. Non-resident Indians and overseas citizen of India make up Pravasi Bharatiya. According to Income Tax Act 1961, an Indian citizen settled in a foreign country for employment who is not physically present in a country for more than 240 days in a financial year is recognized as a non-resident Indian. Overseas citizenship of India is given to person of Indian origin who immigrated from India and subsequently acquired citizenship of a foreign country. This applies to everyone except citizens of Bangladesh and Pakistan. This is applicable only to people whose home country allows dual citizenship in some form or the other under local laws. Diaspora of NRIs and PIO. They can be classified into three main regions. America and Europe. They are inhabited by professionals. Middle East, most of the people migrate to Middle East and they are skilled and unskilled laborers. Asia Pacific and Sri Lanka, mostly people of Indian origin. Friends, as you know that 34% of overseas Indians are living in Middle East and they are sending 27% of total remittances to India. 31% of the overseas Indians are living in America, Europe, Australia, South Africa and they are sending 62% of the total remittances to India. 24% overseas Indians are living in countries like Malaysia, Mauritius, Singapore, Thailand, Sri Lanka and they are sending 5% of the total remittances to India. There are 272 million international migrants in the world and Indians make up 6.4% of the world's total immigrants. There are 17.5% million population who are overseas Indians. In 2019, the remittances from overseas Indians amounted to 83 billion American dollar. In 2017, the contribution of overseas Indians to Indian GDP was 3.4%. Now, friends, I switch over to contribution to the Indian economy. Overseas Indians aids Indian economy by generating employment internally through national savings, capital accumulation and investment. The remittances received by the family members is used to meet their basic needs and open up opportunity for investing in education, healthcare and nutrition. Since 1991, India has been experiencing great remittance growth. There has been a significant surge of remittances from 2016, where the total remittances were $60.75 billion to 68.97 American dollar in 2017, and in 2018 $79 billion in 2018, followed by China, Mexico at $67 billion and $36 respectively. So in terms of remittances, India tops the world. These remittances constituted 2.9% of India's GDP, and remittances formed the country's foreign exchange money of around 22 to 23%. According to Reserve Bank of India, 59.2% of the remittances amount received in India was used for family maintenance. Bank deposit amounted to 20%, while 8% were invested in equity shares, property and real estate. Every dollar transferred to India adds to country's foreign exchange pool. Friends, as you know that now India has the foreign exchange reserve to the tune of around $600 billion. Remittances increase the purchasing power of the people, which drives the consumption market and moves the demand and supply forward. In the last few years, overseas Indians helped in the market development such as outsourcing, technology transfer, tourism and substantial flow of knowledge. Some overseas companies announced major multi-million projects in India. Overseas Indians are encouraged to invest in several sectors like real estate, education, business, infrastructure development. Since Indian government has announced to achieve 5 trillion economy by 2024 and subsequently $10 trillion economy by 2030, huge amount of investment is needed to boost Indian economy. The PM has fixed the target to make $1.7 trillion in the 5 years to be invested in our economy. Overseas Indians can engage with India in the form of investment, knowledge, technology transfer and trading services. This is the NIT framework. K means knowledge and it encompasses mentor, train and export products, services. Knowledge gained by overseas Indians or organization can be used in India in the sectors like manufacturing, IT, healthcare, education, sales and marketing. N means new product sourcing. This implies taking existing Indian innovation and expanding to new geographies. The new products and services innovated and manufactured in India for domestic and global consumption can be taken by overseas Indians in their respective country. The products and services like automobiles, IT, textiles, handicrafts, chemicals and engineering. I means investment. In India, to unlock Indian market, the MSME sector is the backbone of Indian economy, and huge amount of investment by overseas Indian would fetch large amount of profit as well as generate huge generation of employment. T means technology transfer to Indian companies in terms of innovation and modern technologies. Overseas Indians are known to be one of the best in the world, so they can help Indians in sectors like defense, civil aviation, automobiles, manufacturing, infrastructure. They can also help India in technology upgradation. Conclusion: overseas Indians are already engaging economy with India. They follow one or more categories under the framework called NIT, KNIT. This framework will give other overseas Indians to select their own models of success. Remittances apart, overseas Indians can collaborate with scientific institutions and make India a scientific hub of the world. So it is necessary to engage them, encourage them to share their knowledge and invest their capital in the field of education, healthcare, manufacturing and infrastructure to achieve the target of $10 trillion Indian economy by 2030. Overseas Indians may be encouraged to open high-class universities in India with the collaboration of top universities like Yale, Stanford, Harvard, Oxford, Cambridge, etc., so that crores of rupees can be saved, thereby stopping draining of wealth from India. An effort should be made to engage more and more overseas Indians to invest in different sectors so that their contribution to GDP goes to 7 to 8% from the present level of 3.4% of the total GDP of India. Thank you very much.